we doing today? Well, we're out in the wind, and if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, you're probably not aware that I have a 6-wheel drive ambulance. This is a Land Rover Perentie Ambulance, and I have a 4-wheel drive version as well, and a number 5 trailer. I also have a bit of an aversion to black cockatoos, which you can probably hear in the background. They find me every time I'm outside and try and drop rocks and sticks on me. So I'm being a little cautious of them right now. Anyway, this guy is a genuine 6-wheel drive. It's a 6x4 on the road with these 2 wheels driving until you engage this center diff lock, which engages a 3rd axle and drives that. It also has an 8-ton Thomas PTO winch on here. This particular model is an ambulance variant, of which there are about 100 made. All up, there are about 1,000 or so of the 6-wheel variants that the Australian Army used. This one, we speculate, may have spent time in East Timor, but we don't know for sure, as is the case with these. And there's our famous black cockatoos up there as well. So today we're going to go and get a bit of rest and recreation for the next few days, and but first we have to stop and pick up a payload. So let's go do that. Alright, so we're going to head round to the trailer joint and pick up my trailer. I've had a couple modifications done, namely so that I can load and unload my other little vehicle that you won't have seen if you're not a regular subscriber. I refer to it as my 8-wheeled wheelchair, and you'll see it shortly. But, I've got to double clutch this thing because the second gear synchro is a tiny bit worn. That and the gearbox is a little bit cool. I was hoping to film the hitch up. My trailer's ready. I was hoping to film the hitch up, but I ran out of time. I'm actually a touch behind the time. I've got to pick up my apprentice, get her delivered to where she's got to go, and then I can leave town. But we'll go over the mods to the trailer a bit later on. Well, I made it to my location just a little bit early. You've got about 10 minutes to wait, so we'll wait, pick up my apprentice and get her delivered home, and then I'm free for the next few days. I think it's time for a drink. Alright, so I'm not going to film too much here because I'm at a school pickup. People get funny, but this is the mods I had done to the trailer. A little while ago I tried shunting the trailer with the vehicle on the trailer, and I bent all this. So I've had them put a big foot on for now so I can load and unload when I'm unhitched. But yeah, we're probably going to do something about this at a later date. Anyway, I'll give you a good look at what's on the trailer in a second. Alright, looks like I've got a little bit of a weight, so we're going to turn our billy on and make ourselves a cuppa. And then arrange the chaos that is the back of this vehicle. Anyway. Job to look after mummy, okay? I might give you money up ahead to look after mum. How's that sound? There's nothing in there. Well, I'll give you some money for some stuff, okay? Well, I'll get mummy to take you to the cookie store with the money that I give you, eh? How's that sound? drop-offs complete. On my own for a few days. Now the thing on the trailer that I'll show you, that I keep alluding to, is an 8-wheel drive amphibious ATV or UTV, depending on what you call it, called an Argo. I call that my 8-wheeled wheelchair because again, if you're not familiar with my channel, you'll probably realize this thing keeps talking to me like it's a lazy, drugged up announcer. Anyway, I have multiple sclerosis. One of the side effects of that is because it affected the C6 vertebrae and it is exacerbated by heat and high impact stuff. Walking more than about 100 meters starts to become complicated for me these days. I used to do some crazy stuff like climb 100-foot fire towers and work in a lot of high risk environments. I can't do that now. So I use the Argo to get to places that I would normally walk. And this GPS, the seats in this thing actually really compress your nutsack. I know you really needed to know that, but it makes it very uncomfortable. This GPS really doesn't quite know how to take me the right way out of town. Fortunately, I know where I'm going. Why are you going to take me through the rat base? I mean, I used to have clearance for that place, but I don't now. What is your problem, GPS? Oh, you're a nav man, that's why. My Garmin never used to do this sort of crap. Alright, so we're approaching a fairly significant hill on the way to my destination, and I'm going to put a foot to the floor. We're gaining for about 80 k's an hour, but now we're climbing, and I can physically see the fuel gauge moving. This Isuzu drinks the fuel. We'll be cruising, we're pulling about 30 litres to the 100k on average, 20 without the load. But I'm pouring black smoke everywhere here and people are backing off behind me a little bit. But if I let off now and pull over for them, I'm not going to make it over the hill. So, I'd love to let you past, but if I do, I'm going to block up a whole bunch more people. Come on, Turbo, you're going to work for your money today. Good job, dude, you went around. That's what you need to be doing. All these people that have target fixation on a double lane highway and they sit on your ass and they've got a whole clear lane to go around you. Alright, am I going to have the gear down? 67, 66, 65, 64. My change down speed's just below 60 and we cleared it at 62 k's an hour. We just made it. Alright, we're on our way to make good time. Now, I'm doing the speed limit and there is always somebody that wants to be my gerbil whenever I'm doing the speed limit. They're just right up behind me, ready to do gerbil things. Fun fact, when I was recruiting the Army Reserves, no disrespect to the reservists, they used to call me the gerbil. They'd go, point to this bloke and they'd go, right, you stay up his ass. And that was pretty much my job most of the time. It was just following people around. Can't say I can complain, given the way some people are like. Now, here's our location. They'd be able to hear me. Alright, reserved parking for side arrivals. That's good because that's a caravan park. I'm about as long as a car at a caravan, a sizable one. Alright, now this has a turbo, which means we've got to sit here and wait for the turbo to cool off. And time I can probably spend finding a mask, because all that stuff's still required these days.
Turn left, then turn left.
Turn left and turn left. Is that going to be like the sign in a nearby town that says the city centre is in the next 4 right turns? Which when you take the 4 right turns takes you back to where you started. Anyway, I'll finish ranting. Let's go and get my fees paid and check in and get my card, all that stuff. See you in a few. Alright, well, I'm all checked in now. Got myself site 64. They've got password and RFID tags here. And one of the few sites I've seen that actually have passworded tags. Makes them a little bit more difficult to copy. Not impossible if you've got a Chinese copier, but yeah, let's see if we can get close enough to the sensor here to open the gate, or whether I'm going to have to get out. Alright, chuck you there. I can smell the salt air already. Alright, so 64, it's pretty close to where I've stayed here before. I get down here occasionally when I get the chance. When the financial manager releases me from my obligations for a couple of days, such as has happened this time. Shut up, GPS. Right. Now, they've said to save me driving in and reversing in and stuff, and because I've got MS, they've parked me in fairly close distance to the amenities. So they've said pretty much just pull in parallel to the parks. You've got really nobody down here in this corner of the park, which is nice. Oh, there's the permanent site they mentioned. And there's like park benches in the way. I may have to relocate with them. So where are we? 61, 63, 64. So we might cut across 61 and 63 to get to 64, which is where they want me to be. I'll pull up right next to the power head here. And that will make life a little easier. We'll come in a little bit more. Oh, we've got a table there. Right, that'll be good. I'll be right near the table. That will be nice. In fact, I might even temporarily relocate that because they're not bolted down, and I'll put it back before I go. Alright, so I don't know, what's this, like 20 minutes of rambling? Let's go and get set up. Alright, so this is the 8-wheel drive amphibious vehicle I alluded to earlier. We'll get the covers off this soon enough. We'll be doing a bit of hooning on that later on. But for now I need to get this brand new foot down and get this thing unhitched and disconnected. Because I want to put the footstep all the way down this time, so that I'm not fumbling climbing up and down ladders and stuff. So let's get that sorted. Always undo the trailer hitch. Lesson been learnt the hard way with that one. Locking pin. Oh, it's a ball detent, locking pin. Right, now we roll it forward. Alright, plenty of room, kind of stalled it. Right, and we're camping. Alright, well, we've got access to shore power, mains power here. I'm going to plug into that. Problem is, I forgot my short lead, so all I've got is my 30-meter lead. Well, it's going to be a little while, but we'll unreel this. Hoping I brought enough tea bags for this trip. It's going to be a touch windy by the looks. Alright, so it's apparently forecast to be quite cold tonight. So, in case in the extreme rare situation where I find myself possibly thinking I'm cold, I'm going to use the diesel heater. I'm going to put a bit of diesel in it, and this will probably last us the whole trip. Rightio. Yep, I don't want to do much more than that. That's probably about 6 or 8 hours of heat there. So that'll be more than I need. Really, once I get that thing warm, it's inside the amber, it's really well insulated. Plovers, they just like panic over everything. Oh, alright. Now it's worth noting with these diesel heaters, they put off some noxious fumes, and that exhaust gets mega hot. Hence why this is wrapped in fiberglass, so I don't instantly obliterate my fingers. But you'll see down here, there's a big fat burn where I first tried this, and the exhaust was sitting on the lino. It wasn't pleasant smell in here, I'll say that much. Anyway, I can leave this poking out here because when I shut the door, this whole little square area here will be exposed. That also means carbon monoxide and stuff can flow out through the hole and a bit of air in. Even though it'll be nice and hot and nice and warm in here, it'll keep that air pocket still quite warm. And I can close and open that window there in the back to regulate the airflow through. Or even the roof vents up here, which one of those I have to put back on while I'm here. I got an extended exhaust for this, so I can poke it out. The wind is going that way, so the wind will blow the exhaust that way away from me instead of pointing it out that way where it will blow back in the hole. The intake for the cabin is this here, so you can gas yourselves out. It's worth noting that up in here I have a smoke alarm / monoxide sensor with a 10-year battery in it, only recently installed. So it's worth that little bit of extra beeping and annoying to save your life. So I think I'm pretty well done. It's all the complicated shit. This is luxury. I've even brought my gas toaster because I don't have access to the camp kitchen this time. They give me a little bit of a discount, which is nice. They did offer me an electric toaster. They said you can plug it into the mains power. There might be so, but it's on a 30-meter lead. Ohm's law will not be a friendly mistress there. She'd be a harsh mistress. I think that's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm officially done. I'm laying down, snoozing, having showers, all the stuff you don't want to see. Yeah, we'll be back in the morning. Alright, well, it's a nice, clear, sunny morning. And already I'm finding things I need to fix. For one, the cover fell off this thing in the middle of the night. I'm not sure how that sort of thing happens, but I'm going to try and fix that for him. Now, in the middle of last night, I attached some rope to this handle. It was a lot longer, but just to help me shut the door from when I'm inside. And I had it sitting through here in the middle of the night. I opened the door to pee, and it tried to tear all of this off, and actually ended up separating some sections of this that were glued together. So I'm going to have to strip all of that off, pull that unit out, and glue it back together. Fortunately, I did find some wood glue. Here we go. I've got some Gorilla wood glue here. I have a small amount of that. You can probably see here that this doesn't quite line up right. Hopefully I should be able to glue it back together. And I'll do that whilst I'm out and about doing other stuff. I'll let that glue set, so hopefully by tonight it should be back to its old self. Fortunately, I didn't screw that down, although I do have all the gear to handle that. Alright, so before I can do too much, I'm going to have to get in with the chain oil and the grease. Put a little bit in the outer bearings and just put a bit of chain oil on the chains. I'm going to give it a bit of a hard time today, so preparation prevents piss poor performance. So let's prepare, because I don't want to perform in a piss poor manner. Okay, and I've got water and soap because I'm going to get greasy. So let's move on. This is our module removed, and this is some of the damage we did last night. Anyway, we need to glue it all back in. I'm about 3 mil off in a couple of things, so I think I'm going to have to redesign this before I get too into making another one. This stuff's pretty decent glue. It sticks almost immediately. And this looks a little bit worse for wear. I think largely because it's had a bit of water seeping over. This is going to be a fun angle on the phone to do. You might be able to see me grease this. I've already wiped the grease nipple off. Let me plug our grease gun on, and then we give it a few pumps of grease. Alright, and we're going to do that 8 more times. Alright, because I'm taking an extended trip today, I'm going to pack a bit of space in the bottom in here. Pack a ration pack in, and a flameless ration heater under the seat. A couple of rags to pad it all in. I am sacrificing my little portable inflatable life jacket. This is just a spare in case I have an extra passenger on board, which I don't think I will be. So this is just, they take a gas cylinder, you strap them to your wrists, and you pull this little lever to inflate it. I've dropped the manual there. I usually keep that under the seat as a spare in case I'm having passengers, but at this point I think if I get stuck I'm going to need the food more. And certainly I'm going to make sure I've got repellent on board. The mozzies are something else today. Okay. Water entry. I've done all my prep. Got the engine warmed up. That's right, I want to be in the back for balance. And I gotta move my shit seat. Alright. Now, the water's clear enough. We might actually get a look underwater this time. Handbrake's off. See how we go. I've got the camera mounted underneath the outboard mount. Oh, there's my tracks from yesterday. Well, let's hope the GoPro's waterproof. I'm reasonably sure it is. We might just straight shot our way across the other side. Might not need the outboard today. Bit windy actually. I might need to correct for the wind a bit. That'll be good. I'm going to put the kite cam up. I don't think I'm going to bother putting the outboard down for this crossing. I think it's short enough that I'm not going to need it. I I might disappear up the river later on. Depends how I feel when I get back. I think I've got some ibuprofen under the seat. Give me a little survival kit. This is going to be one of them long episodes. Oh, I just hit bottom there. The river course has definitely changed since the river broke. There's my tracks from yesterday coming through into the water. Alright, and I got a little thing waving on the front of my helmet. It's waving in my field of view. Yeah. I want to try and take this bank fairly straight on. I'm getting blown by the wind, but what's happening, I'll sit back a bit, because it's a little bit nose heavy. There's a bit more drag on the nose, it seems. And it's sort of skewered me into the wind a bit like a rocket with drag on the tail. So I have to keep adjusting. So it's pretty shallow here, we won't have any real trouble. Oh, bit of wind on the waves today. Alright. Now, I'll go and retrieve my wet GoPro. And then see how we go from there.
About now, but I realised somebody had relieved me of about 15 litres of petrol in the middle of the night. I was going to have to use my backup plan. Luckily I had one prepared, and it involved ducking up a few backtracks. So, here we go. Well, that was one backup plan I didn't really want to have to use, but I did if I wanted to get home. So, with enough fuel to do the job, we got back on backtracks and headed back to the beach.
I smell leaking fuel. Oh, that's bad. Ugh. Tighten that shit up. Alright, now I've got to find a way to keep it upright. Hockey strap. That would not have been good, to rely on that fuel and then find that it's not there. Backup hockey strap too, I think, can help. Alright. We're back at camp and it's very lazily arranged because I am sore. I did 60 Ks today on the Argo, and could be a relaxation, but my back is now sore. And I'm not sure when, but somebody relieved my jerry can of about 15 litres of petrol. So I made it to the nearest fuel station with about 5 litres to spare. So doing pretty well. And I filled this tank up as far as it'll go. And you can see she's about a half a tank to get back at 30 Ks. So I've got about 60 Ks range on a tank of fuel, on the beach at least in this thing, which is pretty hard going without the tracks. It bogs down a bit. And a little bit of dicking around the back roads around the edge of town, some of the bushy bits, so that I could actually get to the servo. But I've got a full 20 litre jerry there, so that'll be good. They didn't steal on my diesel, so I've still got a diesel heater at least. So yeah, anyway, I am going to take some ibuprofen and have a snooze. But before I do that, I'm running this guy. This guy pulls 55 amps to heat up water, and I've just plugged him in big hulking great cables here as compared to the little ones that are used for the other guy. I've got mains coming into this at about 16 amps, and I've got close to 600 watts of solar power on the top, and I'm getting about 2 amps in from them, and I'm getting a full 16 amps in from that. So yeah, I'm putting about 18, 19, nearly 20 amps in. Oh, it's just picked up a lot now. I think the thermostat's kicked in. Anyway, between the two of them, we should heat that up, and I'm going to chuck some eggs in and boil them. And I think with boiled eggs, I'm going to try some of those Hokkien noodles, or I've got the other ones in there as well. I can't remember the name of them. I'm trying something different. Singapore noodles. I'm going to try something like that with some egg and use up my perishables. And I got butter and cheese from the general store as well that I couldn't get locally. So yeah, we are starting to warm up already in here. Yep, it feels warm. That is bloody quick. So ooh, and those big ass cables are warm too. Alright, I'm gonna go cook my meal, take ibuprofen, probably have a shower, and I'm gonna pass out for a while. Well, the boiling vessel just popped the thermostat, so let's see how hot it is in here. Well, it's looking nice and boily in there. Take a pair of tongs here, and we'll turn our noodles over. And they look good. They're a little more yellow than they were. We'll let that simmer for a little bit, and then we'll fish our eggs out. Alright, my tester egg is done and good, so I fished out my other two. Now I've got to get my noodles sorted. It means I need a knife, because that's not a knife. It's a nice sharp one though, whatever it is. Now, normally you put a bit of water in to cover these. I've heated them up, and I'm going to add the beef broth from the stock cubes in here to make a bit of a brothy kind of soup. See how it goes. Add a bit of salt to them, and then I'll peel the eggs if they're not too hot. Oh, I did take care to wash hands first, as always. I'll finish peeling this egg, and then we'll chop it up and put it in there. Alright, let the other two cool off for a bit. This one I'm going to just chop up into pieces, chunky bits, and we'll have some sort of, I don't know, Asian-esque meal. I don't know what this is, but hopefully it's going to taste good. I'll tell you in a bit. Alright, dinner works. I'd probably use a touch less water with the to make the broth next time, but tastes okay. Tiny bit of salt on it, perfectly okay to my tongue, and I'm pretty picky with stuff. So, geez, and that boiling vessel's still kicking away after I turned it off. Yeah, all right. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna have a snooze, have a shower, and we'll try somewhere else again tomorrow. I reckon that there's a campsite downstream of here that'll probably be packed out tomorrow, so we might go see if anybody's down there. All right, well, it's now officially dark, and I'm missing the luxuries of camp kitchens, so I'm going to make some toast again. A result of my unexpected fuel shortage and my duck into town, I managed to get some butter and some cheese. I do try and avoid the paved roads like the plague in that thing, but in this case I wasn't going to make it home unless I did. Thank you to the whoever borrowed or relieved me of that fuel. Anyway, it's going to be another cold one. I got the diesel heater going. I cleaned up and now everything looks like a bomb's hit it again. I'm going to be editing this video for quite some time. There's so much stuff happening, and all these things out of order, and I'm really tired, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I'm going to make myself some toast. We're going to I don't know if you've ever seen one of these guys before. They work pretty well. You get the gauze hot and you bake your toast on the top, and it takes a very short amount of time. All right, I'm going to go eat my toast. You give me the wake up call this morning because you want breakfast early. What is it? It's like 7 in the morning, and there's 3 of yous. Anyway, I hope you like bread for breakfast. Alright, so magpies are flying around at the moment. It's morning of day 3, I think. I'm not quite awake yet. I raided the bread to feed the magpies this morning. No idea what I'm having for breakfast. I am hungry. I've probably got one of the muesli packs out of the rat pack, or I might do something different. I might do boiled eggs this morning. I've still got some to use. I woke up this morning and the magpies were lined up on the Argo waiting for a ride. You can hear them talking there. And I had the footstep down, and one of them hopped up in the footstep even beside this heater and wanted to wake me up because they were hungry. I mean, it was about 6 Celsius out there last night, so a little bit cold. Anyway, I'm going to wake up and eat and then figure out which way is up. Alright, so next on the field repair list is this fan. I use this to help circulate the air around at night. It does make sleeping a whole lot better. But it suddenly stopped working the other day whilst I was actually using it. And humidity this morning, making my nose run. Alright, so I suspect it might be the fuse that's gone in it. So I'm going to pull a meter out here and we're going to have a look. Alright, so it turns out I had a dodgy fuse. This works nicely now. Turn it off. Cool. Of all the odds, I pulled the one dodgy fuse out of the box. Alright, let's plug this in and see if it works now. Alright, now's when you find out if there was a bigger fault that caused the fuse to blow in the first place. Well, we've got a red light in the back there, even though the red light's fallen through. Let's see, let's go slow. It's not operating as fast as it normally would, so maybe I'll give it a bit of oil and see what happens. But that's looking good so far. So, fan works. Awesome. Let's see what else I need to do. Alright, so, and another essential part of the day, doing dishes. Now, I would be doing these in a sink with hot water, but they're still repainting the camp kitchen, which is over there somewhere. Because they thought they were going to have a 7 days lockdown, and we didn't quite get 7 days lockdown. But anyway, I've got these given a preliminary wash. I've got the good old style boiling vessel. I'm tired this morning. Boiling vessel's boiling up enough water to do wash water. This guy's hot, but I'm going to keep that hot. I'm going to do probably a rat pack in there soon. I have cleaning to do. This is bachelor pad style. It gets messy quick when you don't have the family on board. Or maybe it does when you do have the family, but It doesn't get cleaned up as often. So that's this morning's job. I've got, because this power head's got problems, I'm plugged into that one over there. So I've got the battery on charge over there, the trolling battery. I have floor pan out with all the junk in there that I need to sort out, which means I've now got access to the chains. Casualty of yesterday, my funnel, which I use for filling the diesel heater. So I'm using the diesel and the diesel heater sparingly. I'm noticing I've got a bit of chain sag in here after the last couple of trips. And I'm noticing I'm getting some chain rattle up the front. And I don't think these guys have tensioners on the front chains, and they are sagging a bit, so they may need to get replaced at some point, or get a half link, I don't know. I'll pull that floor pan out. I'm going to oil all the chains this morning, and maybe a little bit of grease in the bearings, because 60 k's is a fairly lengthy trip. I've got a bit of water in here from the condensation. Yeah, and I might give these tensioners a lift up if I think they need it. I'll have a look at them a little bit later. I'm not quite up to that yet. I'm just waking up. I'm taking the chance that I actually have time these days, or at least this next few days, to actually get everything done. This new foot arrangement is excellent. I'm not worried about it sinking into the ground, although the ground is a tiny bit soft here. I do have to be a little careful, but that's from sort of shunting forward when I load the Argo up, but I do so gently. Alright, not much else to add at the second. I need to continue working. Try low range for a handbrake turn. I am going to get round. Alright. That was easier than I thought. I'll give you a look at how fast it's flowing on the way back here. Try not to slide down here. I get my weight on the uphill side. If I slide sideways into this water, we'll probably have a bit of trouble. And I'm a reasonable distance from help. I've got my sat tracker here that I can call for help with. But yeah, I'm a little bit out of range of help. Alright, I might find an alternate round this way. Actually, I'm rather impressed. Oh, come on, climb up. Oh, no, we're going to have to take another run at this. I'm just going to keep eroding that bank if I'm not careful. I need to tackle it straight on. Yeah, I messed that up a bit. Right, let's give it a run up. Yeah, I'm rather impressed out here. It's only until I've got away from human civilization that I'm starting to see more rubbish on the beach. I've done like, this will be about my 70th kilometre on the beach since I've been here, and I'm only seeing crap here now. Like there's a thong. I'll pick that up. Alright. Desperate times, eh? We're going to try and follow the wheel tracks of everybody else through here. Ah, somebody's been up here in a big earth mover. That's some big bar treads. That's like a tractor. Let's see what the tractor did. Looks like he's come down here and turned around. All going over that way. Somebody's turned around there. Somebody's been up in a quad bike by the looks. So people are trying to get across the river. There's another thong. I need a pair of thongs. That foam is actually handy. Alright. Kite cam. Yeah, I'll get across here. But will I get across? Oh yeah, I'll get across over there. That'll be alright. Alright, so I think for this one I'm going to sit in the back. Definitely looking at how deep that is. Shallow bit here. Alright. Oh, actually I'm looking at how fast that's flowing. I'm probably going to have to go that way. Yeah, I'm going to have to go in that way and around and come down that way. And the problem is going to be that I might not get back across. Oh, I could go a little bit further up there. That looks like a better, actually a better spot. But I'm still going to have to come down here to get through. Well, I've got plenty of room, so if I'm drifting here, I've got plenty of room to get across and over there with a bit of drift, and I'll get back up through that way, so that's not too bad. And it looks like it's fairly shallow across there, so I'll probably get up that way. Alright, just that I think that's a better way of doing it. Let's take our shallow entry in here. See if we can get around. Alright. Glad I bought that rat pack because I'm going to need lunch soon. Alright, I'm going to try and nose in with the flow through here. I can see a bank coming up. I'm probably going to touch ground here. And probably dip back down again, don't. Oh, yeah, that is deep there. Oh, this is the day where you sink it, isn't it? Oh, that's a really sharp bank there. Try and hit this square on. Now, yeah, lots of shallows through here. Glad the water is semi-visible. Now, the wind is making it look a little deceptive here. So, wonder if we can get our way across here. I might be taking a different route back. This is a little lumpy for my liking. Alright. Now we're floating and a bit of current by the feel. And a shallow bottom. Alright. And into the wind.
but I'm not getting that. Just because I'm trying to make landfall here. Lean her in a bit. I think I'm touching the bottom now. Come on. Dig your way out. Alright, and we're through. Alright, that made me a little nervous. Alright. Alright, now we're on dry ground. We're going to stop and do a few checks. Make sure we haven't taken on any water. And check the GPS and stuff. Alright. Spot where I might get up and down again. Ooh. Haha. Awesome. I'll get up this, I know that. Aha. Alright. Now let's leave a donut so I know where my entry point is. Alright, that way I can find my entry point again. And I got my GPS. Because there is beach entry to the campsite too. Run up time. Woo-hoo. Oh. Shit. Oh. Oh, campers up here. Oh. All right. Turn with my back to the wind in the hope that you can hear me a bit here. We're back at the river crossing. We've been down to our destination, had lunch and come back. Started smelling some hot brake smell on the way back because I was kind of driving it like I stole it. So I've got the bonnet up, I'm letting everything cool off for a bit. I'm thinking about putting kite cam up, but I'm also thinking it might be a bit too windy. That thing's a pretty serious kite. And I don't want to lose my GoPro.
But yeah, I do need to get across this river and get home. Although I can probably go around that side, but I've still got to cross that bit. I think I'm going to duck across here and then across there, and that might get me out nicely. But there's really steep drop-offs in here, so yeah, it's interesting stuff. Alright, let's have something to eat. Alrighty, see how we go here. And now we're going against the flow, a bit more revs. I'm bouncing off the bottom. Oh, ground there. I don't want to belly myself out here, and I may have done just that. Not ideal. Of all the places to get bogged. Let's see if the outboard will help me out here. Let's go reverse. I'm making headway slowly. Am I still making headway? I am a bit. Alright. I'm happy about that. Alright. Now, I guess we're floating down the river. That's not ideal. I think I'm going to try and make landfall up here. There's a bloody fence line in the way. That's not good. See what the coast looks like up here. Oh. Yeah, it's washed away down here a bit too. There's a swan down there, that's nice. Alright, well. Looks like I can sneak through that fence line somewhere. That's a really ideal spot right there. I can get in and float and pick my place up here. And I can just go with the current and the wind. So if I can get through this fence if there's any left of it. Well, the fence line's laying flat in the ground. You watch, this will be the day where I get fence and wire wrapped up around everything. Let's just roll over it carefully. We're not taking it with us. No, good. Ah, beautiful. It's a better spot. Oh, this is all beautiful stuff here. Ah, awesome. This is the way I like to do it. Now, it means I'm going to get in the back again for balance. This will be another video for Rocco. This used to be a salt lake. He loves salt lakes. This is nice and shallow here, but it won't be like that forever. It's going to be a bit of a steep exit, but we'll see how we go. Let's go ramming speed. Alright, we're across. It's got to be one of the trickier river crossings I've done. Had to go a long way in. Now let's see if I can get the ocean from here. Wow, there is not a cloud in the sky at the moment. Alright. And some more photos up here. And I'm going to get one for the Argo groups. There's a swan in the ocean. That has to be like the first time I've ever seen a swan in the ocean. This calls for a high zoom shot. Alright, well, I'm back. And I'm tired. And my hairdo has probably reflecting that. I need a shower. I'm very glad I'm at a campsite that has showers. That river crossing... Geez, I've got some bags under my eyes looking at this too. That river crossing was a little concerning. Everything was flowing hard. It was steep drop-offs. The consequences of getting washed downstream and that meant I end up in the ocean, where I'm not like the swan that I saw and can swim in the ocean. I would have probably sunk it. And I got bogged in the middle of that crossing. I needed full reverse on the outboard. Yeah. My good friend Rocco would probably tell me to get tracks, but tracks don't swim all that well. So we got across anyway. I was prepared, but I always get nervous when I have to fall back on a contingency plan, which is putting my outboard in the water and at the same time as the tyres. It's always one of them things you theorise is an option, but hope to never use. So when I'm down to my contingency plan, I start going, I'm going to be in trouble. And that's my friend Rocco sending a message right now. Yeah, we'll have the track argument again, as we do every time we talk. It's getting to be fun. I need food, I need ibuprofen, I need a shower, and probably some sleep. I am knackered. I think, what have I done? I did 60 Ks yesterday. I've done probably about 30 Ks today, including river crossings and stuff. I come here to get a rest, and I feel worse than when I got here. Although I'm smiling at least, I feel a lot better. So yeah, I'm probably going to call this episode to an end. I'm going to go out tomorrow and do kite footage because it's too windy today. But I will have worked that into the episode by now if I'm able to. So yeah, we're going to call it. This has been a very, very long episode, and some of you guys probably like that sort of stuff. And there's people saying we want more 1 hour of 4K video of the Argo too. So I think I'm up to 150 gig of video at the moment just from this outing. So I've probably got plenty enough to do another couple of 1 hour episodes. So we'll mix it up and see what happens. But yeah, I hope you had fun. This is me, you just coming along, or you guys are just coming along to see what I do to de-stress. Because looking at my face, yeah, there's still some evidence of stress there. So I'm gonna relax for the rest of it. I've got one more night here, and then I'm gonna piss off about 11 or 10 or something in the morning, and we'll see if I can get some kite cam before then. Anyway, time to rest. Stay safe, guys. See you next time.